Friday, and you have your laptops open, you're not looking at Blackboard. You're actually looking at Twitter, because you're looking and shopping for the best deal on JetBlue or Southwest. You really want to go to Cancun, but you're literally about going to Mexico because you're afraid of catching the swine flu. You don't want to catch a regional flight either, because what you heard was that the metro train operator who takes you to the airport makes a heck of a lot more than the pilot who is responsible for the lives of everyone on board. You also say no to flying northwest to the Midwest because you only have 2 days and you want to make sure you get to your destination on time. So finally you settle for US Air. And I realize that some of you guys may be burned out and may be feeling kind of down right now. So what would be more uplifting than to be sitting in a plane and hearing the voice of Sully Sullenberger, the hero of the Miracle on the Hudson, on the PA system. Now I realize this is a make-up story, but it also represents the top 5 news stories in the US in 2009 dealing with aviation. I'm sure you're familiar with all these stories, maybe not so much number 5, social media. As I had mentioned to you before, airlines are using Facebook and Twitter a lot now to sell tickets, and also to give the latest updates on seating and weather. But think of social media not just as promotion. Think about safety and security. Imagine for a second that if we had Twitter during 9/11, and the passengers on the doomed flight United 93 were able to tweet to the rest of the world that the plane was being hijacked. Now, ALPA has ties to all of these 5 issues. And that's why we start here with the media analysis in order to do a market audit for ALPA. Because we want to know what the media is saying about safety in flight in order to set the right course for us for the immediate future. So this is where we start. As Oscar mentioned, we have 53,000 members, the world's largest labor pilot union. But they don't control the market. That's because there's 70,000 other pilots who work for about over a dozen other airlines in the US and Canada. They have their own labor unions. But they do have a collective role, and that is to work collaboratively within the environment. For example, the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration, as well as the counterparts in Canada, to ensure that we have the pilots get the right sufficient amount of rest, that they have the top-notch equipment, and that they have proper scheduling. This is to ensure safety in the cockpit. They work with the backing of the AFL-CIO on the Hill to ensure that they serve as that one voice for the pilots. And not just Capitol Hill, but also in the Parliament in Ottawa. And finally, they work with the Transportation Security Administration to ensure proper passenger security in the airport upon check-in. So this is kind of the political economic environment for ALPA. And how does ALPA measure its performance? By going back to the first slide and taking a look at what the American people and what the media are saying, not just mainstream, but also social media about safety in flight. Thank you. And next is Clara with this one.